Good morning, you curious cats. Today we're going to do a little bit of a dive into what hard money is, why you need it, and what some of your options are. So, hard money is by definition is money that is hard to create more of. So if you don't have a hard money, if you have something like a government currency where they can come and just create it out of thin air and double the money supply anytime they want, then basically that will cut your purchasing power of that dollar in half. So when a money isn't hard to create, when it's easy to counterfeit or create more of, it's really easy to decrease the value of that currency. So if you're holding that currency and other people have an interest in coming and creating that currency easily so they can buy assets where we're limited, where we have to actually go and work for that currency, it's not a level playing field. It's just not fair, right? So when you have a hard money, something that's hard to create more of, it maintains the purchasing power of that currency or that money. So gold is a perfect example of that, because to increase the money supply of gold, they actually have to go out, spend millions or billions of dollars on expanding these mines, creating new mines to mine the resource to be able to increase that supply of gold. So that is why traditionally gold has held its value really well compared to other government currencies. And another option that we now have that came onto the scene during the '08 crash is Bitcoin. And Bitcoin also has a controlled supply. There only will be 21 million Bitcoin, and you can't create any more than that. So it has a limited supply. And to create Bitcoin, it's really difficult. It takes a lot of power and a lot of energy, a lot of resources to create Bitcoin. And a lot of people think that is a negative thing about it, and they kind of bash it. Oh, look how much power it uses. It's not a good thing. That is all by design. That is part of the design to make it a hard money. We need it to be difficult to create so that people can't go and easily counterfeit it. There's actually no way to counterfeit Bitcoin. And so next, I'm going to speak a little bit. I'm going to compare the two, gold and Bitcoin, and I'm just going to speak a little bit on why Bitcoin offers some advantages over gold, and why Bitcoin, being a new thing, is very exciting to me. A lot of people think that because you can't hold it, it's not a physical, tangible asset like gold, that it doesn't hold value. However, I'm going to make some points here why I think it has tremendous value and some advantages it actually has over gold. So, number one is that right now, during a time where you want to be holding these hard monies as the governments inflate the money supplies and decrease your purchasing power of these government currencies, you want to be going into something like a hard money like gold or Bitcoin. And right now in Canada, the Canadian Mint is sold out of bullion. There's 4-week minimum wait times on your orders, and you need a $12,000 minimum order to purchase gold. Many Canadians don't have that kind of money, so they don't have the option to buy gold. So if you can't buy gold, where do you run? Now you have silver left and you have Bitcoin. So I think that's going to push a lot of people to Bitcoin, which is a great thing. There's no minimum order on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's very portable. It's lightweight. If you're trying to leave the country with a bunch of gold, if you have a lot of wealth, that could equate to pounds and pounds, and there's no way to get it past the government officials, the customs. You're going to have to declare it. Anything over 10,000 in value, you have to declare, and then you risk them taking it from you, asking you questions, where you got it, have you paid tax on it, blah, blah, blah. It goes on and on. And a lot of people can't leave the country with their wealth. So Bitcoin, you could have $1 billion in a little USB stick, or what's called cold storage, and cross any border you want. And you can also actually have the keys to your Bitcoin, which is 12 words. If you were really good at memory, you could actually memorize those 12 words and be crossing any border you want with all of your Bitcoin just stored in your head in the form of remembering your keys. So that's another thing. It's lightweight, it's small, it's portable. It doesn't tarnish. It's easy to store. It's gold, you need probably a vault to hide it in or store it in, or you hide it somewhere, and it's physical, so you need somewhere to put it. Storage fees add up. If you're hiding some of it, you risk it tarnishing, you risk losing it. It's hard to hide because there's more of it. And so Bitcoin, being just on a tiny little thumb drive, it's really easy to store, and doesn't tarnish. It's hard to confiscate because it's so small and easy to hide, and also you can get across borders more easily with it. It's a digital. So moving forward, as we're going into this really digital world, a lot of our transactions are done online. And if you want to buy something, say from China, say you have a business and you want to make a big order, it's really hard, if we go back to a gold standard, to ship them gold. You need insurance on that. You need to pay shipping costs. It takes all the time. It's not that practical for the digital world that we're living in. So Bitcoin is really easy to transact. You can send transactions anywhere in the world. You don't need permission. It's open 24 hours a day. You can send it at any point, at any time, without anyone's permission. You don't need insurance costs. You don't need to pay for shipping, etc. And that is a beautiful thing, I think, moving forward. Gold does not offer that. Another thing is you can back Bitcoin up. You can back your keys up. You could have it stored in multiple locations. That way, if your house burned down, or say the bank got a hold of it, you have a redundancy where you have another set of words that can give you access to those Bitcoin. So that's a nice thing. You can back it up and have redundancy. Let's just see here. What else did I want to mention? There's no third-party verification. So with gold, there actually has been a lot of counterfeiting. And they're noticing that you buy this bullion and you think you've bought gold, but a lot of people don't have the extra money to go get that verified by a third party and ensure they're actually buying solid gold. And so they're buying these plated coins, and they're getting ripped off. Bitcoin, you don't need any third party to verify that it's legit Bitcoin. The network, it's built into the network, and that is part of its protocol, where you can ensure when you buy a Bitcoin that it's legit Bitcoin and that it hasn't been counterfeit. So that's a beautiful part of Bitcoin as well. And it's easily divisible. So think, if you had an ounce of gold right now, that is worth 1700 US or 2300 Canadian. So that's a little coin like this is worth a lot of money. Now, if you want to use that to buy something, say you want to go buy some food, you want to buy some chicken, you want to buy some something smaller like that, and this thing's worth $2,000, how do you divide that? How do you pay for something with that? You can. It's really hard. You could buy 1/10 of an ounce rounds. So now that's 230 Canadian or 170 American, but still, how do you buy a chicken with that? You'd have to buy, 10 chickens at once or something like that. So it's not very divisible. It's hard to divide. If everyone wants to start using gold again, it's really hard to divide up and have these smaller denominations. So that's where Bitcoin offers a lot of advantage. It's highly divisible. We can divide it into tiny little fractions of a Bitcoin, and you can buy any amount of Bitcoin you want. There's no minimum. You don't have to buy $12,000 worth of Bitcoin. You can go and put $10 in if you want. So that's a beautiful thing about Bitcoin as well, where it offers an advantage over gold. It's completely decentralized. So gold market is actually highly controlled by the banking cartel, by these rich elites. They all hold the majority of the gold, and they have what's called derivatives of that. They have all these paper contracts where they sell people these ETF funds where it's a paper representation of the gold, but it's not the physical gold. And by doing that, they're able to manipulate markets and control price. Bitcoin doesn't have any derivatives of it. If you own Bitcoin, you own Bitcoin. There's no third party liability. No one else owns that Bitcoin. Unlike gold and all its derivatives and ways they manipulate it. So that's another beautiful thing about Bitcoin and its decentralized nature. And it's probably it's the closest thing we have to a true free market in the entire world, which is an amazing thing. And anyone can own it. It's and when you own a Bitcoin, you own a small fraction of the network. So as the demand increases, as people rush to get out of these currencies as they inflate away, and they find out that they can't actually get gold and they can't get silver, they have nowhere to run. So a lot of them will start to consider Bitcoin and start to buy Bitcoin. And if you own some of this Bitcoin, you own a part of that network, and you're able to sell that if you wish, or hold on to it. And by owning that Bitcoin, you own a part of this network, which is insurance. It's a completely separate monetary system that is 100% separate from the system we have. So it offers some insurance during the fragility that we're witnessing in these traditional markets, in these government currencies. So those are just some of the points I wanted to make on Bitcoin, why it has some advantages actually over gold, why gold and Bitcoin and also silver are hard money because they're harder to create. You can't just counterfeit it. The importance of hard money and all that, and why everyone should own hard money moving forward, while the governments just go nuts and inflate these money supplies away and basically steal our wealth through taking away our purchasing power. So thank you so much for checking out the video, guys. As always, I appreciate your time. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. Let us know what your thoughts are, other things you might want to hear about. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. And I'll leave you off with a little pan of this beautiful sunrise. We have the pond. Still a little bit of snow here. Pretty chilly this morning, but nice clear skies. So with that being said, take care, prosper, and God bless.